I'm John Beaudin, and this is part one of our interview with the great Chris de Burgh. This is Rock History Music. Chris de Burgh first came to prominence with his second album, Spanish Train and Other Stories, in 1975. The title song about the Lord and the devil playing poker and chess, with, of course, the devil cheating, was even banned in some countries. Then there was the salacious Patricia the Stripper, and then a song that became a holiday favorite, A Spaceman Came Traveling. By 1981, there was the single Waiting for the Hurricane, an extra track off his Best of Best Moves. It showed a more commercial side of Chris de Burgh. By 1982, he had 5 singles off The Getaway, including the hit Don't Pay the Ferryman, about a boat captain who may or may not be the Grim Reaper. And 2 albums later came his big tune, 1986, the album Into the Light, and a worldwide hit smash, Lady in Red. His new project is The Legend of Robin Hood, featuring the music that's soon to be featured in a musical. It's a reimagined tale of the fabled folklore favorite, and it's available now.
Listen, again, I was a fan. I followed you through. I remember reading the lyrics, Don't Pay the Ferryman, and going, ooh, is he the Grim Reaper? Is he not? I mean, for instance, was he the Grim Reaper?
What I had in Ferryman was a combination of mythological things happening. So I'm going to take you on a short movie here. You're watching a film and it's nighttime and there's a moon, and suddenly a rider comes from the left and he's got this cloak billowing behind him. He's going at hell of a speed, and you can see the clouds. There's the moon between the trees and all that. And suddenly he comes to the edge of a huge ravine, and the horse goes, raises itself, and instead of going over the edge, and he looks down, and the moon is dappling on the water, and he looks down, and he sees a cloak figure, that's Charon. You know, they used to put the pennies on the eyes of the dead. And this is a moment of destiny. He knows that he has to do this. He doesn't know why, but it's a moment, like we all reach in our lives, a moment of destiny. We have to do this. So he goes down and he goes up, and the guy's got the hood, and he climbs on the boat, and halfway across, the ferryman says, "Now you've got to pay me." And there's thunder and lightning, and there's skeletons dancing on the water. And he said, no, you've got to get me to the other side first. So what I loved about this is the sudden ending. Don't pay the ferryman. You don't know, you kind of think, what the hell is that all about? Sorry about the bad word. But the same thing.
You know, I'm 61, and I'm looking at the end. I have to. I'm working harder than I've ever worked. I'm telling you this for a reason. But being 61, it's made me, I think I'm on top of my game as a broadcaster after 38 years, and I'm paying attention. I'm working smarter. I'm listening to this album. You know, I'd heard your latest stuff, and I love it too. And I've been following you from Spanish Train way back when. But it's amazing listening to this project, this huge project, advantageous, just a wonderful thing. Does it stun you sometimes that the songs are still coming out of you like this?
Nicely put. Thank you so much for that. John, it's a strange thing being a creative person, because I was asked recently who would I like to interview most of all, and I said, well, I think probably somebody like Stevie Wonder, because the talent that man has is so enormous. And then people look at me sometimes. You mentioned Spanish Train. Some people say, how the hell did you come up with that? And for me, it was kind of perfectly natural. Okay, it was lots of hard work and a bit of working things out. But so it's the same thing when it comes to The Legend of Robin Hood or Moonfleet, which is another big, long story. All in one album.
Yeah, Moonfleet helped you do this, right? The fact that you gained a structure, right?
Yeah. I had, for Moonfleet, because it was an existing book that I absolutely adored. I had a huge piece of paper saying, this is what happens here, and John Trenchard finds the ghost of Blackbird here, and this is what happens, and this is where the boy gets shot, and blah, blah, blah. But with this one, it started because I was asked by a group of people who've already mounted 8 successful musicals in Germany, in a place called Fulda, a town I know very well. It's beautiful. And they asked me to become involved with a musical with them project, Robin Hood. They said, we know you brought up in a castle, you have an interest in medieval history, you have an ancestor called Hubert de Burgh, who was the chief lawmaker to King John and King Richard back in the same sort of time when Robin Hood was allegedly around. And so the whole thing sounded good. We were supposed to have a world premiere last year, this year, next year it'll come out. So I wrote 8 songs for that, and the idea then came to me, why not? Also, incidentally, I was very much involved with the story of that, working with other writers, working what happened next and so on. So I thought, why not write my own album? Imagine that it's being performed in a tavern in the 18th century. The straw bales, people have got tankards of beer, and a group of musicians and poets and dancers go up on the stage and they tell the story. That's in Moonfleet, I had a narrator doing that, but this one, I wanted to do something different, to have these guys. So when we come to concerts in Canada, which will hopefully be in May next year, April and May, in your part of the world in, I believe, early May, then I have the chance to tell the story and explain, because I don't know if you have any children, John, but if you have kids or tell a child a story, the children are doing this. They're imagining. They're not staring at the storyteller. They're imagining, and that's what I love to do, is create the imaginations of these things going on in your head.